For this video, I am rounding out the mini-series where I am playing Prankster Mage and all of the different color combinations that it can go in, and I thought, why not take a crack at like a mid-range Telvanni list that runs it? So this is what I'm going with. There's an awful lot going on here, many really poor choices. For example, I don't think Galen is correct. It's probably not correct to run the Shearpoint Dragon package in this either, but I'm a sucker for certain things. There's just certain things that I like as a player, and I cram them in even when they don't belong, and this is just another one of those times. So that's the list. As always, deck code will be in the video description if you hate yourself and you want to try this out. But we're gonna jump on the ladder, and we're gonna play 2 games, win or lose. We always hope for more wins than losses, but there's a chance that this one also might not be awesome, but that's okay. I'm okay with having, you know, some subpar games for the next like week or two, because fun stuff is coming, right? We know that the expansion is right around the corner. I've seen a bunch of cards spoiled that I can't wait to try out, both in old decks and potentially some new decks that I want to try to build. So, you know, fun stuff on the horizon with Jaws of Oblivion. Alright, so I think send this back. I honestly think I send Lezra back here as well. We're up against Assassin. If this is an aggressive Assassin, we might be in a bit of trouble. Brynjolf could potentially help us in that regard. It's very good against aggro Assassin if you can survive to get to that point. Skill Golem just taken over field lane. I don't really want to waste a ward on Ungolem, so we're going to put this here, and then we'll just try to develop Young Mammoth there to run that over. I feel much better about 1 health off of a Mammoth than I do outright wasting a ward. However, that kind of changes things.
I will have your head.
I think instead we're just going to stay over here. This is an Assassin running Fighters Guild Recruit and Ungolem. This tells me this might actually be something like Alter Assassin. Right? Like, I'm just legitimately perplexed at what we're up against. And I don't mean that in any sort of demeaning way. Like, I'm just definitely taking pause. But if I see those, that tells me it's probably something like Alter Assassin. The attacking me feels a little bit weird, but oh yeah, they're just going all in with all sorts of fun, huh?
Face me, you dog.
This is just gonna eat Ungolem, but at least forces it out of the way. Like, if we want to retake field lane, we're gonna have to get rid of that one way or the other. Even if I played Harpy and say like shackled this, they're not gonna trade that into a Harpy knowing they have that protecting it, so
for the black hand.
You gotta give up something, and that basically forces your hand. So, well, they are attacking me, and of course I get Moose against the person who's attacking me in a weird deck for attacking me.
I hate this crowd.
All right, well, we're gonna use our ward powers here. Try to take back control of the board.
To oblivion with you.
I mean, this to draw a single card isn't the end of the world. And a Viper. Is this just like keyword monster. Assassin? Like lethal assassin?
I will have your head.
We'll play the Moose. If the Moose survives, it's a great way to trigger Mighty Conjuring. Are they gonna play the Assassin's Ritual as well?
Let's do
They do get rid of the Moose, so sure, that's legit.
I will have your head.
In this instance, I think we're gonna start splitting like this. This goes here because now that we know they run Viper, this has got to be like keyword Assassin, right? Now that I've kind of pinned it, with the Manic Jacks, the Assassin's Ritual, Viper,
see my
it
blade
wouldn't even
coming.
shock me if this runs like Illusory Mimic, for example. That's gotta be what this is. This has gotta be some sort of keyword assassin.
Adapt and survive.
Alright, so they got a green card on top. They're packing a couple of lethals over there.
Their time
Royal
grows
Sage
short.
coming down on the old field lane.
Face me, you dog.
Let's get this attack in. And then let's go like this. And let's shackle this. We're mostly shackling this because we don't want them to be able to easily break the ward and then Viper. Like, we know we're going to lose this over here, and that's fine. We can come back to that lane next turn.
Meet your doom.
But right now it's far more important. And they had to use an Ice Storm to do it. So this is like a keyword assassin that runs Ice Storm. I am all sorts of interested in what's going on here.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
Alright, well, we're gonna slap down the old Khajiit. And we're just going to Harpy here. So even if they have something for this, if this survives, then Abner ends up being a fantastic
I
play.
lurk in the shadows. Wait.
Yeah, this was an interesting deck to play against. Fighters Guild recruits, all these keywords, Vipers, Ice Storm. It's like kind of aggressive, right? Like you're hitting me and you're utilizing Royal Sage, but you're still using all these defensive tools. It's an interesting list. It's certainly going to benefit from the new expansion.
Their time grows short. I am the
That's one of the
Queen
cards I'm
Mother.
kind of dying to try out myself. After all, is the new... We'll just go ahead and end this game. One of the cards I'm dying to try out is the new blue 5-cost creature. I believe it's a 4/5. And it gains the keywords of your friendly creatures. AKA another way to give something charge. Alright, well that is game 1 down, but as you know, we play 2 games, win or lose, just to see how things go. But yeah, that new card. It's also a similar to Candlehearth Brawler card coming. It's a 3/3 charge guard, as opposed to the 2/5 that Candlehearth is. But lots of tools coming our way as far as gaining charge. Time to Fight is going to definitely be something that I experiment with after the new expansion comes out. Against Battle Mage, I don't think it's correct to keep Moose here. If we were against like Tribunal and I thought it was going to go long, I would absolutely keep that with the ring. But I don't think it's correct here. Because Battle Mage, like, could be mid-Battle Mage, and there's a chance that the back and forth fight for the board means they don't break runes, but could just as easily be like aggro item Battle Mage, or it could be Prophecy Battle Mage, and then it's just a 5/6 guard that's like 2 Magicka overcosted. Alright, so I talked about it a bit earlier. I don't think if you're actually running mid Telvanni that Galen is correct. However, recent events have led me to believe that the shuffler may be broken with him, both when I play him and when I play against him. So I'm jamming him into decks that he doesn't belong in, which I just think is overall relatively funny. And playing him on Cliff Racer here also seems pretty comical to me.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
If they stick like Steel Scimitar on them, then they get an easy trade, and I don't want that.
Surprise!
So I guess we do that.
I will keep
Because I want to do this, because I want to shuffle in 7/7 Cliff Racers.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Alright, so they They're gonna eat the treat and draw a card, and this is, it would appear, Consume Battle Mage. Not your father's Battle Mage. And uses our last ring charge, which doesn't make me feel super great.
Repel the Outlanders.
I think just keeping, anytime that you can keep your board alive, I think is just better, right? Like, our option there is I could trade and then develop Daggerfall, or we could play the Bolt. Harpy ends up being pretty good there for us as well.
Repel the Outlanders.
Because then that means we can use Cliff Racer the following turn. Let's go with a Barrow Stalker. Let's split the Harpy, just so we have some presence in the other lane. But this should be pretty strong tempo play for us. Even if they run Ice Storm, they're still a turn away from it. And we want the Barrow Stalker here because if they do have an answer for this, we want this to trade in and this to still push 3 damage. Like, we're at that point where pushing damage is more relevant, I think.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
Because Battle Mage just traditionally does not have a lot of great ways. Which is also, in case you're wondering, this is also why I'm going full face here and I'm not choosing to trade for the board. We have value trades we could take advantage of, but with our hand the way that it is, being able to do this makes them have to deal with everything on the board and gain health because we have the second bolt already in hand. It's pretty early to call stuff like this, but I feel confident in saying we are about to. Feel pretty confident in saying we're about to win. So it's just the right call to take that approach there. You know, if our hand is different, then yeah, you take your value trades, you do what you can, but against Battle Mage, which again, traditionally just does not have many ways to gain life, like that's the big key there. If you can get them low enough and you're at a comfortable total where you're not worried about a retaliatory attack, with us still being at all of our runes, etc., like, not a concern. This is the appropriate path, so they might even concede before we even get to play this bolt because they still have to deal with the field lane. Yeah, they have got nothing for the shadow at all. I mean, that's just it. Like, if they've got a firebolt here for the Harpy, then maybe they think they bought themselves time, but we're just going to show them that we had it regardless. And then we top deck. High King would have got the job done as well, but we'll just show them the bolt. And that will be that. That is 2 games, both wins. That's the way you like to see these videos go. I was a bit worried there. I guess I should have played High King for the quest. Whoops. But nonetheless, that is 2 games, both wins. It's a good way to end the Prankster Mage series. Sadly, this time around in this particular video, we didn't get to play Prankster Mage, but wins are wins. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.